Hello and welcome to another video with me, Christian Rauchenwald. Now in today's video I'm going to show you highest Giga Pools on Pancake and Uniswap that at the time of recording this video still offer way beyond 500% APY for providing liquidity and are probably among the most profitable staking rewards programs out there right now. And just to be sure that we're all on the same page, I'm also going to quickly cover the basics like what is staking and what does it mean to provide liquidity in the first place. Before we get started, however, let's get the legal disclaimers out of the way. As always, everything I share in this video is my personal opinion and in no way financial or professional advice of any kind. You should always do your own research, consult certified professionals, draw your own conclusions and make your own decisions. Additionally, any value, prices and/or percentages mentioned in this video may change and you should check if the offers are still valid at the time you watch this video. With that out of the way, let's quickly cover how staking or providing liquidity works before I finally show you how you can benefit from high Giga Pools and the, in my opinion, insane APY there. If you, however, already know how staking and liquidity pools work, plus you are also already familiar with the principle of impermanent loss, then feel free to use the chapters below to jump ahead to the Giga Pool section. Staking is nothing else than getting rewards for holding a certain cryptocurrency in return for interest. Most staking offers will require you to lock up the amount for a certain period of time, but there are also offers from several providers that don't require you to actually lock up your crypto. And since this video is about highest Giga Pool, let's also use high staking offers called High Earn as an example here. Right now, High has two different staking offers. The first one is called High Flexible Earn, where you can get 11% APY if you hold at least 50 USDT or 5.5 APY if you hold at least 0.1 ETH, so Ethereum, in your flexible account. That means without locking up those funds, you receive that interest paid into your flexible wallet in kind every Friday, as long as you hold the required minimum amount. And besides that, High also offers staking rewards for a bunch of other cryptocurrencies like BTC, BNB, LTC, ADA, and many more, including obviously High's own token called High for different lockup periods ranging from 1 week to 1 year in their High Earn offer. The APY you can get there varies depending on the lockup period and the cryptocurrency you stake, and is the highest for High's native token High, with up to 40% APY if you lock High for 1 year. The interest is then either paid daily or altogether at the end of the lockup period, and depending on how much High you hold, you can also unlock an up to 30% earnings rate boost to get a total of up to 52% APY on High's own token if you lock it for 1 year. So to summarize this, staking is therefore similar to putting fiat on a locked savings account for a higher interest rate. Now before we move on to High's Giga Pool and the insane APY that makes the up to 52% in High Earn look cheap in comparison, we just have to cover one more thing, and that is what does providing liquidity mean. Depending on how much experience you already have with cryptocurrencies, I'm sure you've already heard about platforms like Pancake or Uniswap that allow you to connect your own wallet and easily swap your tokens on the Binance or Ethereum blockchain into other tokens. And you can only do that because enough people provide liquidity for the available currency pairs on those platforms. Which already brings us to one major difference between staking and providing liquidity. When you stake High, for example, you only lock up a certain amount of High tokens. However, when you decide to provide liquidity on PancakeSwap for the High BUSDT pair, it's not enough to just provide High tokens, but you also need a certain amount of BUSD. And the ratio that determines how much of each is needed changes over time depending on how the value of High to BUSD changes. Now when you add High and BUSD to provide liquidity, you in return receive a specific token that reflects how much you added to the entire pool of High and BUSDT, and that token allows you to also withdraw your funds from the pool again at any time. Additionally, as long as your crypto is added to the liquidity pool, you'll also earn a small fee on every transaction that happens within the pool. Although I have to point out that, for example, on Uniswap, you can also add your funds only for a specific price range. So in that case, you'd only earn a fee on transactions within that selected price range. So far so good, but there is one last difference between staking and providing liquidity that is caused by the changing ratio between the currencies. As said, to provide liquidity for high to BUSD, you'd have to provide a certain amount of both cryptos and receive a specific amount of staking tokens in return to withdraw your liquidity at any time. But because the ratio between high and BUSD changes over time, you won't get the same amounts back. So it's possible that you add 100 high and 13 BUSD on PancakeSwap, but when the value of high increases compared to BUSD, it's possible that you get, let's say, 50 high and 26 BUSDT back, plus obviously your share in fees that you earned. And that can also lead to something called impermanent loss. So while you got more BUSD back, it's possible that the 50 high you lost were actually worth more than what you gained, and that you would have made more profit by simply holding your 100 high in the first place. That, however, is, in my opinion, a more than neglectable risk considering the high APY you can get through High's Giga Pool, since that should in any case more than just cover any impermanent loss. But it's something worth considering when you decide to provide liquidity for currency pairs that don't have additional reward offers like High's Giga Pool. So to sum things up, so far, staking is a very straightforward process of holding a certain crypto in the wallet or account of a specific provider with or without the lockup for a certain time and receiving a fixed interest rate for the time frame, usually in the same cryptocurrency that you staked, either in intervals or altogether at the end of the agreed upon period. Providing liquidity through liquidity pools, on the other hand, on Uni or PancakeSwap is in comparison a process that involves two cryptocurrencies and that has a few more things to consider to avoid the so-called impermanent loss. But with all of that out of the way, let's finally take a look at High's Giga Pools at stake.high.com. Currently, High supporting the liquidity pools at Pancake and Uniswap with 100 million high each over a 2-year period that expires on the 25th of February 2024. How much of the pool you get depends on how big your portion of the provided liquidity is. And besides that, there's only one string attached, and that is that you have to lock up your liquidity for 1 year. Just like with regular staking, that works in this case by staking the liquidity tokens you received after adding liquidity to the high BUSD pool on PancakeSwap or the high USDC pool on Uniswap. In our theory, let's take a look at how that actually works. First, we obviously need some high in MetaMask or any other wallet that can be connected with PancakeSwap. And you may recall that I withdrew around 2000 high from my high account to my MetaMask wallet in my last video that you can, by the way, find by clicking on the card up here. In addition to the 2210 high we withdrew for recording my last video, I also just yesterday withdrew another 2766 high for a total of around 4900 high that we will add to the PancakeSwap liquidity pool in this video. One important thing to mention here as well is that since my high up on the Binance Smart Chain, I'll also need a small amount of BNB to cover the transaction costs, which I also already have in my wallet, and which, if you need to, you can get them on Binance and simply transfer them to your wallet as well. You can find a link to Binance in the description, the first pinned comment down below, if you haven't created an account there yet. With that in place, in order to actually continue or start the staking or liquidity providing process, we'll have to go to stake.high.com and simply press Get Started next to the BSC Giga Pool. If you already staked some liquidity tokens, you can see them right here in the middle, and you can see the rewards that you accrued so far also here on the right. Plus on the left, you can see the current APY the pool offers, which obviously changes depending on how much or how many people add more funds to the pool and how many people withdraw funds from the pool. Now, in order to actually continue with the providing of liquidity to the PancakeSwap pool, we just have to click on the Add Liquidity on PancakeSwap button in the top right, which takes us to PancakeSwap. And the first thing you might have to do on PancakeSwap is to press Connect Wallet in the top right corner here. Mine is already connected, so I don't have to do this. Also, keep in mind that when you are collecting your wallet for the first time, you might have to confirm that in the MetaMask wallet itself, which again, I don't have to do because I already connected it. Now, once your wallet is connected, you should see your high and BUSD balance here, and you can select how much high you want to add to the pool. So if I select max here, you can see that in order to actually provide 4,985 high to the liquidity pool, I would also need 667 BUSD, because as mentioned, to provide liquidity, you always have to provide both currencies and not just one. Now option one would be that I go and buy 667 BUSD, transfer them also to the wallet so I can provide the entire 4,985 high to the pool. And option number two is that I simply use PancakeSwap to exchange roughly half of my high into BUSD so that I basically have enough of both currencies needed to add it to the pool. However, keep in mind that depending on the country you live in and the tax regulations there, if you swap your high, that might mean that you'll have to pay taxes on the swapped amount. So if I now go here to trade swap and I select high here and then I select BUSD here and I select max, and roughly half of it would be around 2,490 to get 332 BUSD. That would mean that basically for taking the profit in quotes for exchanging those 2,490 at the end of this year or the next year when I file the taxes for this year, I might have to actually pay taxes on that in quotes profit or amount. But again, that varies depending on the country you're in, and you should definitely consider that in advance. Now for me to continue here, I just have to press the swap button, but it's also worth mentioning that you, if you do this the first time, might also have to confirm high as a currency and BUSD as a currency in your MetaMask wallet, or basically the contract connection between MetaMask and PancakeSwap, which will again require a small transaction fee in BNB. In my case, since I already swapped previously, those contracts are already in place, so I can just press swap here and confirm the swap, and then also confirm it in my MetaMask wallet here. As you can see, the fee right now is around, I would say, 50 cents or so, so I'm just going to confirm that, and that's pretty much it. Now, if you don't have BUSD in your MetaMask wallet so far, you could push that button here and would add the token to your MetaMask wallet so you can also see your BUSD balance. I already have that, so I don't need to. And the next step to actually provide liquidity is either to hit the back button to go back to the liquidity page, or you could also again go to stake.high.com and again click on add liquidity on PancakeSwap. And here now, since the amounts changed, I'm just going to press max again, and we see that I barely don't have enough BUSD to stake the entire 2,495, but if I click max on BUSD, it's enough to stake 2,485. So all I have to do now is again press supply and confirm the supply here, which again causes another transaction and again a small transfer fee of, or transaction fee of around 50 cents or maybe a little more, which I'm just gonna confirm here, and which then gives me the chance to add Cake LP, so for your liquidity tokens, to MetaMask as well once the transaction is through. You can see that the transaction went through now, and if we check my MetaMask wallet now, we can also see in assets that I now hold 808 additional Cake LP. Now with those Cake LP, we can now just go back to the high rewards page, stake.high.com, and then select again the PancakeSwap pool. And here we now, if we refresh the page, we'll have the option to actually deposit our additional Cake LP liquidity tokens. You can either manually enter the amount you want to stake or select a predefined percentage. And once you select that, so if I select here the 808 as 100%, you will also see the estimated rewards based on the current APY of the pool. So assuming that nobody else adds or removes funds from the pool and the APY stays the same, my roughly 5,000 high would actually return a total of 215,000 high at the end of 1 year in additional rewards, plus obviously any share on transaction fees that I earned during that time. And on top of that, I would obviously also be able then to redeem my deposit with the Cake LP that I get back from high again. Although, as mentioned, I might not get the same amount of high and the same amount of BUSD back, depending on how the value of high to BUSD changes over time. Obviously, however, since the APY gets reduced over time with more people adding funds to the pool, the actual amount will be different and likely lower. Now to finish the providing liquidity here, all I have to do is basically press the approve button, which will bring us another transaction to confirm, which again in this case causes a 13-cent transaction fee. So I'm just going to confirm that, and we'll just have to wait for that transaction to clear and for the screen then basically to update. Now with the first transaction going through, so the approval process, we actually still have to press the deposit button, which again will cause a transaction and again comes with a small transaction fee, and confirm that here and wait for that transaction to clear as well. Now once that transaction goes through, the Cake BUSD or Cake High BUSD number here should update to more than 2,000 actually, like it does right now. And we can check the withdraw tab to see what I staked so far and how long it's locked. You can see that I staked an initial 582 liquidity tokens on the 6th of April and 724 on the 19th of April. And just to give you an idea of how the return actually is, if we check again my wallet on the BSC Scan blockchain website, you can see that originally I withdrew 3,000 high here, changed roughly half of it, and then basically added liquidity, plus another 4,400 high here, and again changed half of it. So overall on the 6th of April and the 19th of April combined, I added a total of 7,480 high to the liquidity pools. Basically in both cases I exchanged roughly half and then added the BUSD and the remaining high to the pool, but from the starting amount it was 7,480 roughly. And with those 7,480 high, so far I accrued rewards in the height or in the amount of 3,074 high. And today is the 28th of April, which means 9 days ago I actually added more than half of what I added to the pool so far. But still the rewards accrued so far are already roughly 40% of what I staked, and that's in less than a month overall. And that's why I mentioned earlier that the APY offered with high liquidity pools at the moment are insane, and actually even the 52% in high earn look ridiculous in comparison, considering that high earn offers you 52% within a year, whereas here we can see with the current APY those 52% will look ridiculous after the 1 year lockup is over in comparison. Now the last thing to mention here on this page is obviously the unlock date. So exactly 1 year after the original staking, the Cake LP tokens that I provided or staked here will unlock again, and I will be able to withdraw them, and with them I will also be able to then remove the liquidity from the pool, or I could just leave them here, although they would already be unlocked, meaning after a year I can withdraw them at any time, but I will still earn my share of the Giga Pool the longer I leave them in there, because as we know the Giga Pool promotion goes until the 25th of February 2024, which means depending on how the APY looks in a year from now, I might just leave the tokens in there even longer to get even more in rewards. Now if you're tempted to add your high on Uniswap instead, because the APY there is even higher than on the PancakeSwap Giga Pool, the process is exactly the same. There's only one core difference, and that is because Uniswap runs on the Ethereum blockchain, you need Ethereum to cover the fees instead of BNB, and obviously the fees on the Ethereum blockchain are much higher. I also staked a small amount on the Uniswap liquidity pool, and they are considering that you have to cover the same fees as said, so to activate the tokens or the contracts between Uniswap and your MetaMask wallet and so on, and then actually swapping half your high and then actually depositing the high and then basically depositing or staking the liquidity tokens, I ended up paying more than $100 in fees doing the same thing on Uniswap, whereas on PancakeSwap, even if you do it the first time, it's way less than $5, potentially less than $2.50 or $2 that you need to actually do your first staking of liquidity tokens. Which means that while Uniswap offers the higher APY right now, it actually only makes sense if you plan to stake really huge amounts and if you already have the Ethereum to cover all your fees. Because if you plan to stake, I don't know, $10 or $20 worth of high on the Uniswap Giga Pool or the Uniswap liquidity pool and then deposit your liquidity tokens in Giga Pool, it doesn't make much sense to pay over $100 in transaction fees, at least in my opinion. One thing to keep in mind, however, with the Giga Pool promotion is that we also have to consider how the value of HAI is going to change over a 1 year period, and that even with the insane high APY currently available through HAI's Giga Pools, there's still the possibility of actually losing money if the value of HAI drops far enough during the 1 year lockup period. But personally, I'm not really worried about that because I also believe that HAI has a bright future ahead. Anyways, that's it for today. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below or to use the link in the comments or the description down below to join our Discord community and discuss HAI, the liquidity pools and other projects with me and the community there. Thanks for watching. See you in one of my other videos. Till then, bye bye.